Newton's first law of physics states that objects at rest will stay at rest and objects in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. This means that if something is not moving, it will continue to not move forever or until someone or something makes a move from its stationary position. The same logic applies to objects in motion, meaning that if something is moving, it will continue to move forever until an outside force stops it. This cannot be seen that well on Earth due to gravity being a constant force acting on everything, meaning everything falls down eventually. Newton's second law of physics is a simple formula, F equals ma, or force equals mass times acceleration. This means that the force of an object in newtons, 1 kilogram meters per second squared, is measured by the mass of that object times the acceleration it is experiencing. The greater the acceleration or mass, the greater the force derived from the action. Newton's third law states that when two objects interact, the force exerted from object 1 is equal in magnitude to the force exerted from object 2, just in the opposite direction. This can be abbreviated by, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's first law states that since this ping pong ball is at rest, it will continue to be at rest this way forever until an outside force acts upon it. So I could film this ping pong ball for hours and it would never move, unless I add in some sort of outside force. For example, my hand. And a cat. Newton's first law of physics states that an object in motion will stay in motion until acted upon by an outside force. So if I put this paddle, the ball, and my finger in motion, and then stop the motion of the paddle and the finger without acting upon the ball, it will stay in motion until it's acted upon by an outside force. And the ball falls off the paddle. Newton's second law states that force equals mass times acceleration, which means that two ping pong balls of identical masses being hit by two balls with different masses, the foosball with greater mass and the ping pong ball with less mass, will experience different force, resulting in different speeds when they're launched. So, to start, we'll roll a ping pong ball into a ping pong ball. The ping pong ball has a lighter mass and the force is less. Now, we roll a foosball into a ping pong ball. The foosball has a greater mass, which gives the ball more force, and hence it moves faster. Newton's third law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, which means the action of this ping pong ball falling onto this table will be met by a pushback from the table, the opposite reaction, which is why when I drop this ping pong ball, it bounces. Physics.